your host, Kimber White Dupree,
And I'm King Bronze.
King Bronze. And on the other side of the glass, we got a full house. We got Naira, we got Jared, we got Dr. Wyatt all in the control room. But it is Travel Thursday.
Yeah.
It is Travel Thursday, and you know how this goes. You listen to the musical clues and you try to guess where we are traveling to today. I'm glad to have you here this morning because I had some preset things that I kind of wanted to talk about this morning.
Okay.
But before we get into any of the conversations, won't you let our listening audience know who you are and where you from and all that stuff. Where you at? Where you from?
Well, I'm from here in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I reside in the 7 and the 8 ward, my people from the 7 ward. But I'm a musician, a performing artist, and, I travel the world doing music.
Well, that's wonderful. Music. Well, that'll make some sense, and I wonder if you'll be able to gather where we're traveling as a result of the music that's going to be playing on today. But yes, King Bronze.
King Bronze.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it a lot. Today we are our weekend starts on Thursday,
Okay.
and everything else after today is we slide into the weekend, but the weekend starts today for sure. And yesterday we had a really good show. We had very good interviews. Uh, Big Chief Donald Harrison was on the show. We
Okay.
had George Porter Jr. We also had James Andrews
Yeah.
that were on the show on yesterday. They are promoting the inaugural Purple Passion Gala that'll be taking place on Sunday.
Yeah.
And just having talent in the room is a really cool thing to hear people's experiences, and of course the lineup that'll be in the house for the gala is going to be one one heck of a collaboration of artists. But okay, you're a musician.
Yep.
What music or what instrument do you play?
I play the trombone.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so who've you played with that you can share with us?
I've been playing for years and years and years. You said James Andrews, so
Mm-hmm.
that's funny. That's like my family almost,
Okay.
But I grew up looking up to James Andrews,
Mm-hmm.
Trombone Shorty, and a few others from the city. But I've played with a bunch of artists.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Lately,
so,
I just been focusing on my, solo career.
and are there any projects that people can kind of look for and Google and kind of check out before you release another one or
Yeah, I
one that's
actually
in the
have a
works?
single out right now. It's called Flowers.
Flowers.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
it's on all major platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm working on a new single. I wanted to drop it maybe next weekend or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly right before Thanksgiving and before we get into the whole jingle bells and everything. Uh, but it's called Human. And I got this inspiration. I just got back from Panama,
mm-hmm.
and just to see like the life out there. And I've been to France and I've been to Canada and I've been all over the world, and just to see how people live elsewhere is
Mm-hmm.
remarkable. And I just want everybody to remember that we're all human, no matter what we're facing right now in this.
Ooh, child.
Woo,
That's really what I had been kind of listening to people's reaction to the effects. I really have not been looking at any commentary with regard to the results of last week, but people are ending relationships, uninviting people to Thanksgiving,
Right,
and
right,
not answering
right.
people's phone calls. And
Yeah.
my question is, how y'all didn't know these people was voting like
I
this
don't know. I don't know.
anyway?
I mean, some people
getting
put it on the
divorces
forefront.
is crazy.
Some people put it on the forefront, but a lot of people was hiding it. So you never know. You never know what they was gonna do.
But there is, in particular, when it comes to black voters, right?
Right.
I I can't say that I could think of many Republican voters, but I did have a conversation with a Republican voter maybe in the last 2 weeks, and even he said he was not voting for
Yeah. But you would
the
think.
guy.
Yeah.
So, and that was just like, well, then if this person's pretty reasonable, all right, cool, fine, whatever. If you say that you're not voting, then I assumed that a lot more people would be in that mindset. But like, there's the lady. I don't know if you saw the write up that was on Reddit. This guy was detailing um, that when his wife found out who he voted for, he got served with divorce papers. Um, that he didn't realize he could be served that quickly.
Yeah.
That she wants him to pay her or buy her out of their house.
Wow.
That she was going to report his parents because his dad gets disability, um, but does cash auto mechanic work on the side. And I mean, like it was a whole list of things that he detailed, and like they had put $300,000 into the
No way.
into the house, and he was like, I can't afford to buy her out. I'm trying to reason with her,
Yeah.
and like he went through this whole spiel, and she was basically like, yeah, as she was packing her clothes, she was like, now you're gonna really find out what it's like to get screwed by a Democrat.
That's
and I was
insane.
like, he was like, we were happy last week and now we're not. I was like, if she had papers ready to go, y'all weren't
y'all weren't
happy
happy.
last week.
She was looking for that last little final cherry on top.
And it's crazy that people are ending relationships. Like this other lady was crying because her grandmother won't answer her call. Her mom has yet to answer. Her grandmother has told her she is no longer welcome to family.
Right.
That is crazy.
Now that's definitely insane
to me. And I feel like people have different they have different views, different opinions as they should.
Right.
But why y'all didn't know how these people was voting prior to, which is it's the crazy
because you
thing.
wouldn't think. I don't think one would think that. So, well, I know from my perspective, so many young people
either didn't vote
or they went in that direction.
Yes.
And a lot of people wouldn't think that, many young voters would go in that direction, especially from here being in New Orleans and stuff like that. You would think, all right, we see the lady and it's, it'll be the first time and
everywhere ain't New Orleans.
Nah,
and
definitely.
But I definitely saw like a compilation video this morning of people who were ending relationships with people, and I was just like,
I think to end the relationship is crazy.
Well, I don't know, and the reason why I say I don't know is I don't know that with people who are on the fence, because even independent voters just like, pick a side. Stop being a coward, especially the independent voters in this particular election.
Yeah.
I'm voting because of the genocide that's happening in Palestine. Well, it's about to be worse.
Right.
So congratulations to you, and tried to told you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's going to be even worse, and they have you to thank for it. So I hope that sits well on your conscience as you are moving forward with that. But pick your side, stand on your side.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who are having buyer's remorse is even more funny. Like the Latinos for Trump.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of the guy who he sent his kids? They were gonna play with their neighbors who were white, and he was Latino, and the neighbor went so far as to shooting a gun in the air to run his children from playing with his kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. I didn't see that.
But the thing is like, what about anything that has been said by the people that are around him didn't give you a clue to this behavior? Like,
right.
What didn't give you a clue about it? And I'm just like, you subjected yourself to this. You've also subjected us to this. And I have no empathy.
Right.
I don't have any sympathy, and I definitely don't have any empathy.
Right.
I'm worried about my family getting deported. I don't care. I really, really do not.
You gotta wash your
hands
with the situation. I don't know. It's like you gotta kind
of. What you mean? So, like, what's your take on it? Like, what's the barbershop talk? And before you get too far into that, we gotta take this break. So stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
The late Eric Paulson touched so many lives in his 47 years broadcasting the news in New Orleans. Please join producer DJ Wick, Monica Pierre, and me, Sally Ann Roberts, for a WBOK special tribute to Eric Paulson this Friday morning at 6 with rebroadcast Saturday morning at 9 and Sunday morning at our usual time, 7 a.m. Your Power is On remembers our friend Eric Paulson on WBOK 1230 AM and WBOK1230.com. What New Orleans is talking about.
I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. Mimosas, wine, and hotel itineraries. Those are all key details investigators at the Public Integrity Bureau tracked down while looking into former NOPD officer Jeffrey Vappy. WDSU obtained a report that claims Vappy may have violated rules by drinking with the mayor at the French Quarter. Restaurants, while on the clock. Investigators used videos and even got the receipts from the restaurant to reach their conclusion. Investigators also used hotel itineraries that they think show Vappy and Cantrell plan to share a hotel room for a trip to Singapore that ended up being canceled, thus implying the two were in a personal relationship. New Orleans police are asking for your help after two women were attacked within 2 days of each other on the City Park path. We're told what police believe to be a Hispanic suspect exited a golden car and tried to abduct a woman who was jogging. That incident and the other happened along the Wisner path. And while the NOPD does not believe the cases are connected, they still want you to be on high alert. Police have increased patrols in that area. We're hearing from the Orleans Parish Sheriff after an audit alleged her department used $250,000 on overtime during Mardi Gras last year. The OIG released the report Tuesday saying off-duty details must be worked in an efficient and uniform manner that ensures safety and incorporates best practices. Sheriff Susan Hudson calls a portion of the OIG report into her department's off-duty detail a, quote, inaccurate legal interpretation. I'm Gerald Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Metropolitan Human Services District wants to remind you that treatment is effective and everyone can recover. If you are looking for a recovery program and you live in the
Dupree.
And I'm King Bronze.
And on the other side of the glass is Jared. We are on Travel Thursday. Where are we traveling to? I was half listening to that song. It was a whole lot of things that were happening during the screaming, but I was not recognizing any of the language that they were using. So, yeah, before we took the break, we were talking about people and ending their friendships and relationships and all of those other things.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's the barbershop talk. What's happening?
Yes. What's going on in the barbershops?
I don't know. I don't think they feeling it either. But like I said before, some of the younger people, they went in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the older barbers and stuff like that, and the older folks in the barbershop aren't agreeing to it. But I don't know, man. People feel how they want to.
You know, people get to feel how they feel. However, like, I am one of the people who will, if you ask me,
Right.
my opinion, and you ask me what I think about something,
and
I take the time to formulate
right.
the thought,
Right.
and then you do the complete opposite, and then you need some support and or help, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I really do not care. And I feel as if this is going to be one of those cases that aw.
Yeah.
Woo,
Told you so. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a call in 504-582-9422. Good morning, Brother James.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing well.
Doing? So this is not barbershop talk. This is just like, I guess, me brain farting out loud.
Sure.
I'm thinking that this is a viable economical opportunity for those of us that are going to sit this one out as far as opinions and, because we used to most of this injustice, inequity. This is an opportunity for us to study their blueprint of how they got over here and just went to work and put some of those tactics into play.
When you said they, who you speaking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
Would you be speaking of the orange one?
The people that's about to get deported.
Oh, okay. No, I did not know who you were talking about.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
Okay,
Went
you
over
had
my
me
head.
lost. Okay, so you're talking about immigrants that were here?
My bad. Yeah, them people that we don't feel nothing for, because they voted against. They got over here and thought they was gonna be accepted. So, but America has shown and will continue to show what's acceptable and what is not. So I think that if we could kind of like mimic the playbook, so to speak, come in, buy a house that's a fixer-upper, live in it, fix up one room at a time, hopefully leave the other side until you can get the monies or the funds together to, crowd build with your family, crowd build with your friends. Put family and friends back into these neighborhoods by leasing and renting to each other, one another. Get a food truck. Get 2 food trucks and put your T's and your ATs who are on Social Security and not really doing a whole lot with themselves right now, in them food trucks. And, let them flip some burgers, serve some nachos and hot dogs. Let's get the candy lid out the back of the house and put in them food trucks and, let's take that blueprint is what I'm saying. Your thoughts?
That's an idea. Honestly, the people who wanted to do that particular work were doing that particular work, because I know a lot of people, even though they may not have food trucks, people have been selling plates out their house for like eons. If that's something that they want to do, I don't know so much that we want to do those things. And the weird thing I think that's going to be the biggest light bulb for everybody is all the air quote jobs that they were taken from us. We're gonna find that when they don't do those jobs, not a whole lot of us are gonna be running to go take those jobs.
Right. I don't think we like those jobs, and we tend to be more prideful in like moving in and shacking up and building one room at a time. And I don't know. I don't think that's our flavor. You know.
That's a mindset change. I don't think that's so much an economic thing. I mean, I
Right.
think it's a great
Well, I
idea.
agree with y'all 100%. Now, I don't. I'm just saying. I said that they have a playbook that's out there that we can use.
But not
Those of
just
us that are
them. To be
willing to.
honest, it's not just people who have come from Latin speaking countries. That's
Right.
really everybody
Right.
else's playbook.
Right.
That's like everybody else's playbook. It's just not
That,
ours.
right. That's my point. You're speaking against it, but I'm just saying in general. Like, well, I'm not gonna say you're speaking against it. What I'm saying is, we're saying the same thing.
I think
If
it's a
it's
wonderful
everybody's
idea.
playbook,
I
but
think it's a
but we
wonderful
find
idea.
ourselves, but wait a minute, we find ourselves, like the brother said, Jared said, prideful in situations, and I'm not necessarily speaking to. I'm in the 40s. I'm in the 40 to 50 range, so I'm not necessarily speaking to those of us in my weight class. I'm talking about the younger generation, because
Right.
the younger generation don't really have equity in housing. They don't really have equity in creating jobs. They don't have equity in these trades. So I mean, there are vessels. If we stop and we look, you know what I mean, we can actually utilize that for a short period of time. You're gonna work for 20 years on somebody's job or better anyway, regardless. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
why not pick up that ball and run with it for at least 10 years of your own, stack your bread, and then get into another avenue, the venture that you want to, the one that is more suitable to your ego and your pride.
Right.
I'm just saying that we could open up our eyes a little bit further than this election, because this election. It's over. It's done. It's in the books. We did what we were supposed to do as the black community. We could have done better. Those youngsters that chose to look over the fence and say, I like what they got going on over there. Let me try that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we can't get away from that now. That's over and done. That's in the books. Like you said, and people, I have no sympathy for those Latins. They're gonna have some white folks get deported. Honestly,
I really don't have any sympathy for anybody in what they're getting right now, but I'm annoyed with the fact that I also have to endure it with them.
Right.
They've subjected
Right.
themselves, but they've
Oh,
also
yeah.
subjected me.
Oh yeah, that I wake up in hives. You hear me? 'Cause, like I'm just getting to a point to where I have wrapped my head around the fact that this is not really on us. Whatever happens to this nation moving forward, black folks been coming to the rescue. Well, it ain't on us this
Nah, we
time, and
sitting
I
this
don't
out.
think.
We sitting this one out. This ain't on
Yeah,
us.
exactly. This ain't
So I
on
wash
us.
my hands with.
We're not gonna dig. We're not gonna dig your ditches and get you out of this one. The revolution will not be televised.
This ain't our
You know what I mean?
revolution. Y'all on your
This
own.
ain't ours. So I just wanted to say that, and as far as the sympathy remark,
Yes,
I
sir.
have none. I feel nothing. It is what it is, and I'm just gonna sit in my little backyard because time's gonna be hard, and I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna go ahead on and put it together, and I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna eat some grits and eggs. I'm gonna,
We've
I'm
done
gonna have
this.
a bill.
We've
Some of
done
them,
this.
some of them.
Yeah, we know
You,
how
you
to do
dig?
this.
I got a plan. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm gonna learn how to hunt. That's what they're gonna force me to do. So,
I hear that.
all right, y'all.
Thank you, brother
I
James.
heard that, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
Yeah, no, he is not wrong at all. For people who are like black people know how to live in the struggle,
Yeah.
and white women are really gonna be the ones that that's gonna really feel the burn of this one. But the Latinos, for real, like this on y'all, the Latin men, and I don't know how denaturalization can work,
Mm-hmm.
or if that's going to be the thing that's going to get them to be like, oh, we made a bad choice. But like,
What do you think is going to be the thing that
well,
drives them to say we made a bad choice?
so when the prices of things don't go down like they expected, this whole don't do like the tariffs
Yeah.
make things that we order, like iPhones about to be ridiculous.
Right.
You know, and companies that are across the water, like in China in specifics,
Yeah.
are going to be a lot more costly. And so as they put tariffs on those things coming in, who's going to do the heavy lifting on that? Which is going to be the consumer. It's going to be us. So when like, I can't believe I had to pay $2,000 for this iPhone instead of this $1,400, this $1,000.
Now tell me this.
I'm gonna say I don't care. I'm prepared to ride with my iPhone
this person,
for the next
right?
4.
They put him in place. So with that being said, do you think they'll ever admit that things are hitting the fan?
I don't think they're gonna have a choice.
Or you think it's gonna be that
I don't
bad?
think they'll have a choice because, like, in 2016, people were quietly supporting them. 2020, people were a little louder. 2024, people were barking that they were in support, and the internet takes no shorts at all. So it's like, I can't believe that I'm paying. Hey, Neff, this you?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I can't believe hey, no, remember? Make America great again. Stupid. This is what you asked for. This is what you got.
Yeah.
Here's your plate. Sit down and eat it. And, no, you can't join in these games over here. Like, people have made those lines. I taught for 17 years.
Okay, yeah.
So for the kid who's like, I'm going to do it my way. All right.
Right.
After I've tried to keep you from doing it, I can't do X, Y, Z. I told you that already.
No, definitely.
I
totally
you that
understand
already.
that.
And now these are the consequences of your actions.
Right.
Help me fix it. I'm not.
I can't.
I will not. I am not. You cannot get extra time because I gave you guidance for this specific purpose. So
I prepared you. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, she sneaks around the world from Kiev to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filcher from Berlin down to Belize. She'll take you for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me, where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego?
Steal their soul.
Hey, Cam.
Y'all so funny.
We
you
love.
guys are killing me.
This is your day. Travel Thursday is your day.
Yes, and I'm off today. I'm on vacation this week.
Well,
but I think
being on vacation.
Yeah, I'm on vacation listening to the Front Porch. That's right.
Yes.
I think we're going to the Mike Tyson fight.
Mike Tyson fight.
It's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
This weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we can go with. We are going to a fight.
We're going with the Mike Tyson. I just said that one because that one is on. It's on the radar for this weekend. So that's the only reason why I said that one.
But yes, we're going to a fight. Cam, you really know the words to songs that I can't even process. Because that last one, I was like, they sound angry.
It was a Foo Fighters.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I'm aware of the group, but I do not know any of their music. But Cam, this is why you have a theme song for Thursdays.
Yes. Okay.
Well, enjoy your vacation. I hope that you're getting all the rest that you deserve. We know that you are. We know that you are hard at work in law when you are on the job, and then DJing. You're not DJing this weekend?
I'm on vacation.
Well, I love it. Enjoy it all.
I'm on vacation. Even my husband, he's off until Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
we got to unplug sometime.
Yeah. Oh, you are absolutely right. Well, enjoy your time off.
Sometime.
And yes, we're going to a fight today.
All right. Well, we're going to the Mike Tyson fight, which is, I think it's tonight or tomorrow night.
You know that's not one
no,
of my
it's
sports.
tomorrow.
I have clue.
Wait, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow night because it's the 15th. I think so it's tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Tomorrow night. Yeah. All right.
All right. Have a good one, Cam.
All right.
Talk
Bye
to you
bye.
later. Josh, mind your business. He said, I'm grading on a curve for Cam. She said, we're going to the Mike Tyson fight. We're going to a fight. It was a fight nonetheless. I did not know that Mike Tyson had a fight.
Well, you didn't know about that?
That is not one of the sports I follow. I don't follow football. I loosely follow basketball. So, yeah, no.
It's a significant fight because he's fighting a young guy. And
It's just the white guy, the social media content creator.
Listen,
What is his name?
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. That is the.
But there was some people like some of Mike Tyson's old trainers and stuff that say he looks better for this fight than he did his last fight, leaving his prime.
But he was fighting a fighter. This person is not a fighter.
Well, he does fight. I mean, he's a social media guy, but he fights as well.
Even if I was in my prime, I wouldn't want to fight Mike Tyson.
No,
There is something almost animalistic in Mike Tyson's
the elevator does not go to the top floor.
Not just crazy. It's just like he gets this like zoned out. He is
This
checked
energy,
out of his body while he's fighting. I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
No, I
wonder how you train for that, knowing that you're about to face Mike Tyson.
Well, we know he's not using drugs this go round.
Right. Hopefully the other guy is.
But for real, he's I wouldn't. Mike Tyson is not a fighter that I would never, ever.
He's not a guy I would even want to make mad,
No.
Nah.
Like I would watch.
Nah, definitely.
Because of course I've seen people pick at him on planes and stuff and it's going, you're not making good choices at all. Like this doesn't make any sense at all. And I guess it would be disappointing for people who really watch fighting or boxing like that if he took a fall. Because we know, we've seen what he does. Not training.
Right.
So like if he doesn't like beat the brakes off of this guy, I would be shocked. I won't
But
be
then
watching.
again, he is old,
I don't know. Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, biting people's ear off.
Yeah, that's insane.
Breaking people's faces. Did you see what he did to the guy? Was it Spinks? Somebody was picking with him outside of a club, and like his face was destroyed after having a run. And it was a street fight, no gloves involved, but they're just not making good choices at all.
He definitely taps into his animal instincts.
Yeah, no, nobody wants that. Well, we're gonna take this break. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK 1230 AM from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The rain is done and the cold front has moved through. Expect a breezy and much cooler day with highs in the mid-70s. Dew points are dropping, so comfortable air is in store for today. Even cooler for Friday before a slight bump in temperatures this weekend. Next chance for rain is next week, and then temperatures will drop even more at the middle to the end of next week as well. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 a.m. every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
Keep up with NOLA Public Schools through Education Elevation, hosted by Superintendent Dr. Avis Williams. Education Elevation will highlight the achievements, innovations, and contributions of scholars, educators, schools, and the district. Tune in every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. for engaging conversations and updates as we strengthen connections and support the needs of our scholars. Mark your calendars for every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. a.m.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month, a service of the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month, we're focusing on lead, a heavy metal that's dense, soft, and poses serious health risks. In Cancer Alley, lead exposure from industrial emissions or contaminated soil can significantly increase cancer risks and other health problems. Stay informed and protect your health. For more information, visit risestjames.org.
WBOK and LCMC Health are proud to present the Keeping You Well Cafe, 60 minutes of LCMC Health, where doctors speak directly to the people of New Orleans. LCMC Health is committed to improving the quality of health care in the New Orleans area, the Gulf South, and beyond. The Keeping You Well Cafe is another way for LCMC Health to engage with the community. Over the next few months, LCMC Health will join WBOK and local businesses to answer your health and wellness questions. Through this partnership, LCMC Health will provide resources to the community, including subject matter experts from the hospitals that will share expertise on health concerns and wellness practices to help you live your best life. Tune in to WBOK during the last hour of the reality check, or catch us at lcmchealth.org and follow us on social media.
The way to fix Louisiana's insurance crisis is to fix our homes, make them safer, stronger, and more storm-ready. But Governor Landry wants to make it more expensive to fix your home. His plan adds sales tax to everything from home repairs and maintenance to garbage collection to diapers. The governor's rushing to overhaul Louisiana's tax structure so out-of-state corporations pay less and everyday people pay more. If you think insurance is bad now, tell your lawmakers not to let the governor mess with our taxes. Paid for by the Greater New Orleans Housing Alliance.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504 Welcome back to the Front Porch. Porch here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree.
And I'm King Bronze.
And on the other side of the glass, bringing us back with the latest love, Cool James, is Jared. I'm going straight to the lines, 504-582-9422. Hey, Miss Wanda.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you guys? Hi, King Bronze.
How you doing?
I love you, young King.
Oh, thank you so much. Love you too.
Yeah, look, I'm want to touch base on this voting debacle. I'm 60 years old and I still work, and it's just a disgrace to me that the Republicans control everything now. Everything. The White House, the Senate. So if Donald Trump comes with an idea, it's going to pass. And it's just sad that I'm on this back end thing called life and just watching the young people, not all, but some the young people are just so lazy. Say, for instance, with Jeff Landry. Okay, that was the weekend the Saints was playing, I think, Houston. Everybody want to go to Texas, and they could have did early voting. Sean Wilson was a shoe-in to win. But no, not Jeff Landry. Look what all these ridiculous things that he's coming up with. And it's just crazy how Trump dangles a little stimulus, and a lot of people just take that and run with it. It is crazy. I'm old. I still have to work. I don't want to work. The young people is some, not all, but some just sitting around getting all the French benefits, low-income housing, the food stamps, Just because we old, they think we don't eat. We can't get food stamps. They claim we make too much money, which we don't. We live check to check. But in all reality, life is a game. Y'all young people have to play this game smart. Y'all have to out-slick the slicker. Meaning that, for instance, there's a board game called Life. It's been on the market for years. You see, Trump is going to deport all these people, freeing up all the jobs. And like you just said, young lady, when all the jobs is free, the people is not going to go for him. Then that's when he's going to play mind games with people. He's going to be like, well, I opened up the workforce for y'all. Okay, y'all don't want to go work? Cut housing. Cut food stamps. And then they're going to be crying. But they have to play the game. It's on the verge of Social Security getting cut, so they say. So when is me and my husband going to be able to enjoy our Social Security? We can't. We have to work. And who's to say when we're able at that age, is there going to be any Social Security left? Young people, please, y'all need to help our elders out. It's y'all turn to be on Front Street right now. We were never lazy, never. Look at the Black Panthers. Y'all need to do y'all research. The Black Panthers had their own little towns, had their own everything. The Tulsa, when we had our own everything, we were never late. When we were fresh off the boat, we went to work. We were never lazy. So stop letting people say like me, saying y'all lazy. Prove me wrong. Y'all get off y'all butts and go to work. Because I am tired of working. I done put in my time. And I'm just disgusted with these young people that don't want to work and give back to the community. Like King Bronze, he's giving back to his community with the young kids. You know, he's giving back. Sometimes it's not always about money, but this young man is giving back with the roots of music. his alma mater at St. Old and stuff like that. He's giving back. And also, he puts out good music. Flowers and Friends is on my playlist on my phone. That is some awesome music this young man is putting out.
Well, that's unsolicited
So,
customer testimony. We appreciate you for that, Miss Wanda.
Definitely.
Thank
yeah,
you so
yeah,
much.
yeah. Because I'm just so aggravated and disgusted. Like I say, I'm 60. My husband is 62. He has cancer, and he has to go to work every day.
All right. Well, thank you
You
so much
know,
for
and,
your call on this Travel Through Thursday. We appreciate you, Miss Wanda.
Definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're gonna pick that apart on this other side of this break, y'all. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
From the campus of Xavier University. WBOK 1230 AM. Go. An Equity Media Station.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. President Biden plans to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping when he visits Peru for the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. This is the 3rd time Biden and Xi will speak face to face. It's also the last time they're expected
12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree.
And I'm King Bronze.
And on the other side of the glass, we have Jared, Eye of the Tiger. I don't know who the artist is for that one, but I definitely know the song. If you've ever watched Rocky, you know the song for sure. And that was, you got some flowers on that last phone call.
Definitely.
But I kind of want to go into some of the commentary about what was being spoken about, and a couple of things that stood out to me. One, the last election, the gubernatorial election, with saying it was young people who didn't vote. It wasn't just young people who didn't vote, because just young people weren't the only people who weren't there. And there was a lot of things going on that weekend. True, there was, I want to say, Jackson's homecoming, Southern's homecoming. Then you had the Saints that were playing in Houston. So it was three different things going on. But early voting is accessible. And I have been taking advantage of early voting since, I want to say, maybe 2016 for sure. Because I don't want to stand in election day lines for election. So just to put it on one age group, I think is irresponsible, because it wasn't just young people who didn't vote.
Now, what I did notice is there were a lot of people, a lot of young people that did vote, but they just went in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So I could say that as well.
Yeah. It is, like I said, it's irresponsible to categorize people with age. And this is, I think, is a disconnect community-wise, the young versus the old. You know, the young people don't do this, and in turn, young people go, well, old people do that. You know what I'm saying? And instead of having the conversation back and forth and pointing the finger and taking some of the responsibility off of individuals, the messaging gets lost. Because if you point the finger at somebody, what I'm going to do is turn you off. I'm not going to hear you anymore. And information that that you think you're imparting to me, I'm not hearing, and vice versa. We have Mark says, I know a bunch of old fools who don't vote. Yeah, there are people still in 2024 that are 40 plus have never voted. So that's not, and not that they can't vote, they just don't. So we cannot point the finger at within our community and say it's the old people, it's the young people. And I think that older people often romanticize their childhoods, because you didn't get to be the age you were by walking a straight line. Everybody's done something Everybody's done something that right now, would you want to be publicized? No. And if you have a certain age, you have the ability to have done certain things without it hitting social media. Where things live on and on. But that old versus young thing keeps us from having intergenerational conversations. Then, with regard to people retiring, is the retirement age 62 or 67? Because, I mean, I don't plan on working beyond the retirement age, but I got to get to the retirement age too. Like, we got to be considerate about that. And if you look up food stamps and what you have to make or report that you make in order to get food stamps, the poverty line is, like, you have to pretty much be destitute to get
I'm not sure,
assistance.
but I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm telling you, it is like, it's ridiculous. So for the people who are air quote being called lazy, I don't know that that's an issue either, because with the way life is now, I don't know who don't have some kind of hustle. It may not be something that's documented, but somebody got some kind of hustle.
I agree with her 50-50. Like, I know there's a lot of young people who are, or who might be, taking on that whole lazy title or whatever like that. But I know the young guys that are around me, we all work hard, you know, and I don't even want you around me taking in your energy if you're not working. I have that type of, you know, fight, a dog in you, you know, to want to get up and be better about yourself. You know, but I do see it out there a little bit.
So to be eligible for SNAP or food stamps, if you have one person in your house, you cannot make more than $1,632. Where you gonna live for that? That's rent for most people.
You can't make more than
$1,600? You can't more than
$1,632.
$1,632. If you have two people in your house, you can't more than a month.
Wow.
If you have 2 people in your household, you can't make more than $2,215.
So they just want people who like pretty much don't have a job.
You could have a job, but that $1,500 going to you living somewhere. That's not utilities. That's nothing else. Because rent is what $1,500
Right.
a month. What that leave you with?
Right.
$132 to do what? Gas, car fare, or
Yeah.
the bus fare? What you doing with $132?
That's
So,
insane.
I don't even want to get into that pointing the fingers of things, because people who need assistance, they need to be on assistance. I would rather them be getting assistance than to be aiming their guns
Nah, definitely.
at me.
Right,
You
for
know
sure,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
So yeah.
Give it up.
And then what gets impacted? How does this get impacted? People who don't go and vote. People you put in office, or people you don't put in office.
Right.
They make these changes, government wise, and it's not in your own best interest. You have a place, a place to make a statement about that. So I do point my fingers at people who voted for Trump. I'm pointing my finger at you, and I really don't want to hear it. I really am not open to hear what it is that you have to say. You buckle up and get ready to ride this ride, right?
Yeah.
People who air quote threw their vote away. I'm not hearing you either. Mainly because what you said is it wasn't important enough, and what you were complaining about is still going to happen
Right,
now. So
right.
congratulations to you. I'm willing to have conversations with people about where do we go from here who have a dog in the fight to make things fair and equal for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else, like, y'all on your own? I just do not care.
Yeah.
I just do not care at all. Hey, Hannah. So this is I think this is going to be a hot topic, and people are going to continue to have these conversations about whose fault the results were.
Definitely pointing the fingers.
Yeah, but if you did your part, you can rest easy and
Right,
not
right, right.
even take offense. It is what it is. Just like when people are constantly calling children bad, who makes children bad?
Right.
Adults.
Right.
Lack of supervision, lack of sharing information. So
Yeah. Also
that's an
mimicking what they
adult.
see. Yeah.
Do what I say, not what I do. When has
Right.
that ever really worked? I wonder if anybody has really lived their life by that. Do what I
Never.
say and not what I do.
That's
that
insane.
rarely ever works and or happens.
Right.
But anyway, let's go back to your music. Your video for Flowers is on Instagram. I see that one, and you have the preview for Human.
Yeah.
So what inspired your music that you have released and the one you're getting ready to release? Where do you draw your inspiration?
Just real life experiences and stuff like that. I tend to do like a lot of motivational music and stuff.
Mhm.
I heard you say you taught for 17 years.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I taught for 5 years. I taught
Okay.
music.
Where?
At the Roots of Music.
Okay, shout out
Okay.
to Derek.
Yeah.
He's a Front Porch vet.
What?
Mhm, he's been here. Actually, we knew about the award, the funding
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got last year before
Before they even knew.
Yes,
Yeah. That was
we
great.
knew about that, and that was really awesome to know that the program is going to continue to grow. But okay, you taught the Roots of Music 5 years.
Yeah, I taught at Roots of Music for 5 years,
Mhm.
and just teaching the kids. I heard her mention a song that I did with the kids. It's called "With My Friends,"
Mhm.
and I actually took the kids to the studio. This was before the Roots of Music now they have a studio program where
Mhm.
they teach kids, about production and stuff like that. But I took some kids, about 8 kids, to the studio, and I showed them this is how the boards work. This is how people record music, and then we actually made a song together, and it's called "With My Friends." And I did it with my friends.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so that video is out everywhere. And I also recorded the process of us making the song. So that video is out as well.
Okay.
But my latest single is called Flowers. I just feel like, I want to give everybody their flowers. They need somebody to, spark that little flame in their life. So that's what that was about. And then, me traveling lately, doing music and stuff like that. With these times we're in, we talking about Trump and Kamala and stuff like that. So it's just I just want you to remember, no matter what you're going through or what's happening out there in the world, to remember that we're all human. Just to keep your focus and stay locked in, and just remember, don't be treating people any kind of way. Everybody human. You human, they human. We all human. So
Oh, I wish that people would remember that.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, I'm not sure, somebody said this. I think this was you, Hannah, that people tend to be more self-focused and self-centered versus thinking about their decisions and actions and how they impact other people. I think you said that earlier this week. And people they don't think about that, but it's a different reaction when it comes back around.
right.
Like everything, like you out, everybody out to get me.
Right,
Who
right,
is
right.
out to get you? By people living their lives, but are you considering what it is that you're doing?
You're putting into the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think they are. I
No,
don't think they are at all.
it's obvious that people don't, but the self-pity and the this shouldn't be happening to me, and never making the consideration for other people, like, to me, is crazy. Everything that happens in and around your space, if it doesn't hit you, it's gonna hit somebody that you know.
Definitely. And, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, yeah, I'm worried about myself, but I'm mainly worrying about the people that's around me. How can this energy affect them? How can my next song or my next message or my next quote, affect this person? Because, yeah, I'm going to listen to the music all day long, but they're going to have many other people that listen to it as well. And what are they taking from it, So,
So you said that you have been traveling a lot, and do you have a band that goes with you?
no, I just have a drummer right now.
Okay.
A drummer and a DJ. The DJ kind of spins the backtrack, and
Mhm.
the drummer plays along. But I'm singing and playing the trombone as well. So it's
How
pretty
does
cool.
that work?
I mean, I don't do it at the exact same
I
time,
mean, of course, you have to have a second face.
Yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
definitely. But I structure these songs to whereas I can sing them, and then there's a portion of the song where I play my trombone. Because we talked about the roots of music, and it was a fun fact that I taught that for 5 years, but I was in the first band that the roots of music ever had.
The marching band?
Yeah, back in
Okay.
2007. And then
Okay.
I was able to go, to St. Aug. And I went to Southern in Baton Rouge.
Mhm.
And then once I finished up at Southern, I did a little traveling, doing music and stuff like that. And I came back and I began teaching at the Roots of Music. And so that was pretty cool.
No, that is pretty cool, especially if that's something that you love.
Oh, no, I
to
definitely
do.
love it.
Yeah. So any other teaching plans, like to go and do some residencies in some places to help young musicians?
That would be pretty smooth to do. I never thought about it. I never seen myself being a teacher. It just literally happened. I didn't think it would ever happen, but I've always been like the section leader. I've always been like the head guy when it came to playing trombone. That's my
Mhm.
instrument. But so it was just like something that was in me,
Mhm.
and I guess teaching that roots, it pulled out another thing in me, to teach. But
Was trombone your first instrument?
it wasn't. I actually started off playing like drums and stuff like that.
Okay.
As every kid from New Orleans does, they pick up some sticks, even if it's tree branches, and they're banging on stuff. And then I moved to the cornet, but it wasn't really my thing, like the trumpet or whatever. It wasn't really my thing. And then I used to second line, and for a club here called the Money Wasters.
Okay.
And this particular second line, the Rebirth, was the band of choice. And they had Trombone Shorty and like Glenn David as the trombone players.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen those guys, and I was like, man, they was killing it. And so I told my mom, I was like, whatever they doing, I won't do that. Like, I won't play that. That's what I won't play. I won't play that right there. And she was like, okay, cool. And then like Christmas came about, and they had this big old box under the Christmas tree, and it was a trombone. And so from there, and I was in like the second grade, and I started like really, really playing it in the third grade.
Oh, that is wonderful. I mean, I'm glad that you had the opportunity to start so young, because unfortunately, a lot of our schools don't have music in the schools where kids are learning how to play instruments that
Right,
young
right, right.
anymore. So you were able to get instruction in the second grade?
Well, actually, I used to get private lessons.
Okay.
And my teacher at the time, he was so motivated on coming back and me to come back to him because he was saying I was picking it up so fast.
Mhm.
So we just was feeding off of each other's energy, and I just kept on learning.
That is wonderful, but that is a testament to what the city does and how people have been impacted with the music. Um, with your two projects that are out, you have Human that's going to be released,
Yes.
and then Flowers that's already out. Where can people find those selections?
You can find it on any major streaming platform, whether it's Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you listen to music on. I'm pretty sure it's on Pandora, whatever. Yeah.
So make sure you guys are on the lookout to listen to Flowers that's already released. And when is Human being released?
On the 23rd.
November 23rd?
Yes, ma'am.
So be on the lookout for Human. We're going to take this break, y'all. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. Welcome back to the Front Porch here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. Barroom Blitz. That's the only words I know to that song. And the part where they scream. I know none of the other words to this song. You're like, you know this
I
song?
never even heard it before.
It's way before your time. It's way before your time. It would not have been popular by the time you were delving into music. And are you a rock and roll kind of person?
I'm not a rock and roll kind of person.
Yeah, if you were an 80s kid, like you didn't have a choice.
What?
MTV was launched in my lifetime. I was like in elementary school when
Okay.
MTV came on for the
Wow.
first time. And the majority of like the videos that came on MTV, and then you had VH1, and then you had BET as your main video shows. Most of the things on MTV were rock and roll.
Seriously?
So like
Wow.
Twisted Sister. I'm trying to think of the other bands that we used to. Oh, Kiss.
Okay, I know about Kiss.
You know about Kiss. Yeah. I'm trying to think of. It was like a lot of rock and roll that you listened to. I don't know that we had a big dissection of I don't listen to this because it's this kind of music, and I don't listen to this because it was that kind of music. Maybe
right.
as a child I didn't love orchestral music
Right,
as
right.
much,
Right.
but or symphonic music then. But yeah, rock and roll was a Mick Jagger.
Okay, yeah.
Like that. All rock and roll. Yeah, we had a lot of rock and roll. Now, what's going on? Like when it went into grunge and heavy metal, you lost me.
Nah.
I was done with.
I mean, I
the
like
rock
stuff
and
that's
roll.
pleasing to the ear, you know? I mean, if it sound good, if Mick Jagger and the guys got some pleasing music.
The Rolling
man.
Stones. Let's see. Mark said at one point the only video show we had was MTV, so we really just didn't have another choice. But 80s rock and roll, Twisted Sister, ZZ Top, I think was.
That's a group?
Yep.
Never heard of it.
It was a set of twins with these really weird long beards, and they had guitars that they used to spin while they were playing it. But we had the Twisted Sister in the is the first band that's listed. Let's see, White Snake was another band that I knew about. Let's see,
Never heard of none of
the
these
Talking
people.
Heads. Yep, ZZ Top. I said them. Rat was another.
And all of these are groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about back in the days. They had a lot of groups. So that's pretty cool.
So finally, Mark, somebody is saying this with me. Now, we did have black rock and roll stars. You had Prince, you had Rick James. Before that, you had Chuck Berry.
Okay.
You had, you know who Chuck Berry is, right?
Not hip.
Yeah, rock and roll guitar player who Elvis
Got his style from? Yeah, okay. I mean, I heard the name before, but I'm not sure like what his music is like.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to
I gotta
think of
look
what
into
other Little Richard.
Oh, I know about Little Richard.
Yeah. I mean, for his music styling, rock and roll for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, rock and roll for sure. I have some. They're putting some pop bands in here.
Little Richard, that's Tutti Frutti, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know about Little
Do you know the real words to that?
Richard.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it offline. But like Duran, I don't think they were rock and roll, but they definitely like were a band that we listened to. Tears for Fears. Let's see, who else? Somebody said Culture Club. Culture Club was boss. Oh my God. Billy Idol. Oh yeah, Billy Idol, Elton John. Like
That's crazy.
we had a lot of rock and roll.
See, back in my day.
Influence.
you're not-
I ain't even gonna give you that. Like they really had a lot of influence. Elton John, you should be familiar with.
Okay, I heard
Yeah.
Elton John. Yeah.
Yeah, he finally retired, but he played music. He was on the good drugs.
See the groups, the groups we had back in my day was like,
back in my day,
Destiny Child.
We don't
Cash
really have
Money.
bands. We have groups.
Okay.
We don't have real bands, and I'm going to fix this for Mark because he's gonna tell me about it. The Roots.
Okay. Well, Questlove.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And Mint Condition.
Okay.
and maybe one other band, but we don't have no bands. Like you had, we had like earlier years. You had Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay, I'm hip to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You had fire, boom, boom, boom. I can't. Ohio Players.
Okay.
Like you had a bunch of bands.
Yeah.
And people playing Switch. You might think if you've heard "I Call Your Name," you might think it was the Barge.
Okay. What the
It's
OJs
not
sing?
them. The OJs weren't a band; they were.
Oh,
a group.
that was okay. I see the difference now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So we had there were a lot more bands
Mm-hmm.
before. Monty said LTD. Those were.
So
other
what do you
bands.
consider like Maze and Frankie Beverly?
That was a band, but that
Right.
really isn't our generation if you
no?
think about it.
No,
No,
that's-
they were still making music, but they
gotcha.
don't come from our generation.
Got you.
You know, like I said, the Roots, because I always forget them. And then you have Mint Condition. What other group of you have bands that support acts,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have
Band.
bands.
Nah, definitely. You're right about that. And in my generation, there isn't band
There's no bands
at all.
There are no bands.
I mean, New Orleans, we have brass bands.
Yes,
But there's
yes.
no like mainstream bands, you know? So
And that's so like frustrating. Yeah, they listing all of these bands that were there. EW, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Lakeside, that was a band. Yup, sure was. The Barcades, Switch, I said Switch. Brass Construction, Confunction, that was a band.
What they sing?
Cameo was a band.
oh yeah?
Yeah, we don't
Never heard
have
of
we have musicians,
Yeah, no, definitely.
but we don't have bands
Bands.
that
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
have groups, and then the groups don't really stay together that long.
Not at all.
They do a run and then they be like, "Are we out?" High
Mhm.
five.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Then they do the
cool.
reunion later on.
Exactly. And I'm trying to think of the groups that we had that were like from New Edition, of course, was a group, and they had issues. They swapped out members, and now
Definitely.
everybody's on tour.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, War was War. It wasn't necessarily in my age group. That's like my aunt. I know who they are as a group, but that's not bands in my generation.
Yeah.
The Isley Brothers were also a band,
Okay.
but we
I
got
thought the Osley Brothers was more like a
two-
group.
no. The brothers. Some of the brothers play instruments.
Okay.
Yeah. No. They. And was it a cousin? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Tony. Bandish.
Okay.
Bandish. Because of the three. Somebody played the piano, somebody played the drums, and I forget what the other person put. But
Okay.
we don't have like a band.
Yeah. So I feel like, all right, so the difference would be like what's Bobby Brown them name?
New Edition.
New Edition.
Did you say what's Bobby Brown group name, sir?
Go on, no. I know it. I just,
That is hilarious.
New Edition and then
Uh-huh.
like Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I guess the difference would be more so the instruments, right? Because
a
like
band has
Nah, I
instruments.
definitely understand that.
Yeah.
But okay, well like, New Edition, they might have a band that play with them,
But that band does not travel as a band.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even Beyonce, like, for a while, her band was all women, and she had a group of women who played to
Right,
support her,
right.
but they weren't like Beyonce and the girls going wild or whatever. It's like they didn't have a group there. They still going with
Somebody
these
texted me and
bands.
said, how do we leave out the Gap Band?
Yeah, the Gap Band. Let's see, Sly and the Family Stone, like the Brothers Johnson. These were all bands. We have two. Well, two and two possibles.
Right now, you saying? Oh, no,
From
like-
my generation.
Oh, gotcha.
Does your generation like have people who like get
Come on,
together
don't do us
and
that.
play? No, I'm
Don't
saying
do
like
us
that.
that.
Collectively are like a band, not the second line bands. It's
No.
not
No.
here in New Orleans.
I know you're talking
'Cause
about,
we got bands, Mammy here in
Nah,
New
for
Orleans.
sure. You talking about mainstream. I told you, my generation, we like, Cash Money, No Limit, stuff like that.
Those are record labels.
I know, but
That's
it's like
it.
we don't have no real bands.
Let me see. You have artists. You have artists from your generation, of course, like
Who play instruments and stuff.
John Baptiste,
Oh no, definitely.
right? And
But I wouldn't say it's not like
But
the
he's-
John Baptiste band.
No.
You got like Trombone Shorty,
Right.
but it's like they're not the band. You know, that's-
right. So, what was the hiccup with that? Because I know a lot of young musicians. I know a bunch. My children are musicians.
Now, there's definitely like trombone shorty. They got like Tank and the Bangers. There's like, but I don't think
The
these are
Bangers is the band.
that's what I'm saying. It's not like
the Bangers are the band.
right now. It's not like Earth, Wind and Fire, where it's like you come in to see this production. You know what instruments, but it's just like the main artist might play an instrument. What does that technically make it a band?
I would give Tank the Bangers as a band.
All right, because you got Trombone
but do
Shorty.
they exist without Tank?
Trombone Shorty does, and I feel like it's Trombone Shorty, and he have like the Avenue or something like that. I can't.
But do they travel and do they perform without him?
Wait, so do they have to, or you saying like they
bands that stand alone, like
gotcha.
bands? And they had all the bands. They got Kool and the Gang. They got Commodores, Windjammer, Noise. Like all of these things are.
Yeah, they got me. They got me for sure.
Yeah, I know individual. Like I said, I know individual musicians, but
definitely
rarely. Even my son, he played in a trio that became a band, and then once they graduated from Anoka, they were done.
What do you play?
The upright bass and the bass guitar.
Oh, that's lit. That's lit. Yeah.
And so, like he now that he's back here, he gets called to support and called to play because a lot of people don't play the instruments. But other than that, like he does not. I don't have to worry about coming home. Nobody's practicing in my garage. Nobody's booking tour dates and things like that.
Did that bother you?
That he's not playing?
No. Like him practicing in the garage and stuff like that.
Not now. He's good.
No. It was back when he was still learning.
That's a very loud instrument.
No, definitely. I mean, I play brass instruments and drums. So it's like my grandma, she was one that didn't like care if we practice, but like if my uncles are over and stuff like that, like got my uncles, he might hide my drumsticks, might put my mouthpiece on top of the refrigerator. Stuff like that.
Now that he is wonderful at it, like he's really, really good at it, but those learning years early, ooh,
oh yeah, I'm sure it was horrible.
Ooh, them sharps and
yeah.
Dude,
and then that
help me
strings,
hold
yeah,
it.
so that's kind of different.
Yeah, but he plays the upright bass. He played the drums for a little while, and he was over that. We have a whole drum set at our house that I want to sell because it's just sitting there. But he played the drums for a couple of years. Well, that was his first instrument, the drums. He started playing African drums when he was like 3 or 4, and then moved into the traditional drums, playing a snare. He was playing a snare in kindergarten.
Oh, yeah.
And then somewhere between there and maybe 3rd or 4th grade, he went from drums to piano to viola and then to the bass.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's well-rounded.
I guess, he's on that bass. He's amazing, but the learning years were tough. And then my daughter, she started playing the flute in 2nd grade.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and she learned how to play the drums as well, but she never really. I wanted her to be a badass drum player. Like, I wanted to see girls on the drums.
Yeah.
And she never really was that interested in it, but she plays the flute, she plays the clarinet and the oboe.
Okay. So you got some musicians out here.
I mean, yeah, but in the house, you said your people was hiding stuff. No, it was a must you practice because instruments are not cheap.
Nah, definitely.
And that bass was
definitely
pricey.
definitely.
Like,
yeah, some sticks you could just beat on a pillow, whatever.
Yeah, that was pricey.
Yeah.
We were lucky or blessed to get Loyola lent us a bass.
Oh, okay.
For about a year and a half before we bought it. But that was $5,000.
Nah, definitely.
Like, what 10-year-old?
Yeah, I wish I was able to get into like I mean, I did my share of piano and stuff like that, but I wish I was able to get into like strings, guitar, and bass.
It's
like
not
that.
too late.
No, it's definitely not late at all. I mean,
if you picked up a string instrument, which one would you?
Bass guitar, like, yeah, I just love the sound of it. I like bass, like it just.
Yeah, that is a cool instrument for sure. Yeah, and when he plays, and my son is pretty studious. He's L7, very square. Very square. But when he's playing music,
You'll
especially on
never
that
know.
bass guitar, it's like,
Mm.
who is this person?
You're right.
Who is this person? So it's good to see musicians when they love something.
Right.
It's like they're in a whole different place when they
Another
are.
zone when they're performing. Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
I love that. I love that for sure. 504-582-9422. Hey, Elwin.
Good morning, Kim.
Good morning. And say good
I know
morning, King.
Good morning, who?
King.
Good morning, King.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm the only king that New Orleans got, so you
Oh.
must be second king.
How you been?
I've been fine. I'm at the hospital right now. I just pulled up. I got a doctor's appointment today.
Okay.
I had one the other 2 days. That's why I didn't call y'all. Where's Braylon?
Braylon is on location.
You see, every time I want to pick with him, he's always going on vacation.
Well,
He'll be in there tomorrow.
He has a talent that he, uses and it is requested, so he has to go do what he got to do.
Well, he needs a paddle.
What you got going on this weekend, Elwin?
Oh, nothing much. I'm just going. I don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't know what they're gonna do with me yet. They may put me in the hospital and they may not. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I know they had an appointment for me on the 16th last month. They had to cancel because I didn't have too much protein in my system. But I'm getting a lot of protein now. So I don't know what they're gonna do. But I have to talk to the doctor and see what he's gonna do.
Well, we all pulling for you here over on the front porch. Your godfather, I'm sure, is sending his special prayers up for you, and we always pulling for you, and we want to know how things turn out as a result of today's appointment as well. So,
Well, I'll keep y'all informed about it. Right now, I don't know what they're gonna do. I know they're looking at the knee and they want to drain the fluid out the knee. I think that's what's causing me not to walk.
Okay.
Too much fluid in the knee, and they want to drain it out. And I got to go to rehab and all that other stuff, So I got a long way to go before I can walk again. But I'm working on it. I'm doing the exercises at home too, just in case. You do the exercises and you won't be in rehab too long. So I am doing them.
Well, don't overdo it, and if they tell you that you
I
need to pull back,
do two.
make sure you listen.
I just do 2 or 3 exercises. I'm not doing a whole lot.
Well, that's good to know and good to hear. Well, we're gonna be looking for this update next week here.
You might get the update tomorrow.
Well, if
Hopefully.
you have a good news report for us on tomorrow, please by all means make sure you call in and let us know here on the front porch. And prayers always going out to Squeezy E.
Okay, that's no problem. I mean, I'll be glad to tell you what's going on. For right now, I know they wants to drain the fluid out the knee. Okay. And I'll be glad when they do this because I'm tired of. I've been in this wheelchair since last January, and it's driving me up the wall. I can't do what I want. I can't go nowhere. I mean, it's frustrating.
I'm sure it is, but as long as you're here to go forward and not have any regressions, we'll be good.
Oh, me be good?
I said we'll be good.
No
and I want you to know that the front porch is sending you prayers. Mark, Anita, and the rest of the front porch are all sending you prayers for speedy healing and for your recovery, okay?
Okay, but you want me to be good. I never had no fun
Yes,
being
we
good.
want you to be good. Don't go causing issues with the medical professionals that are helping you out, Elwin.
Look, I never had no fun behaving.
Look, we got to take this break. Keep us posted, okay?
I will.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. I'm out.
All right. Stay tuned to the front porch here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. welcome back to the Front Porch here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree.
And I'm King Bronze.
And on the other side of the glass is Jared. There's so many different conversations going on in the building, and I'm running from one place to the next and coming back here. Anita Harris, yes, you can leave your phone number with Jared, and we'll see if we can get it to Katrina Porter about the gala and to share your information with her about any question you need, of course. Anybody who needs resources, if we can connect you, we definitely want to get that done.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Front Porch, who's always looking out for our family. That everybody's sending up prayers and healing words for Elwin. Elwin, our Front Porch continued and longtime listener, longtime participant in our conversations here on the Front Porch. So we love and appreciate each one of you all who share your time with us here on the Front Porch. There's a lot of talk about this election thing. When I tell you I am programmed just not to look at any of those things, I have literally been trained on not getting involved in the commentary moving forward. But I am here for the jokes. Comedy.
It's very entertaining.
Oh my God. Comedy is definitely, you need to laugh. You definitely need the laugh. But like I said, when I was telling you about people who are falling out and losing family.
Right.
That right there is just, I chuckle every time. That guy, the guy who was like, we were happy last week and now we're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Nobody gets a divorce that fast if you are happy. And
he had that expedited.
Not for real. And when I say these people are going scorched earth, my question again is, why is it that you didn't know who you were connected to?
Right.
Like, if we're friends, if we are, like, if it's your in-law, it's one thing that, you can turn on and turn off and decide to engage or not engage with, like, somebody that close to you.
This isn't a conversation that you have. Like,
I would think that people would. I would think that people would have that conversation.
Because I'm not married or anything, but I'm sure if I was like waking up next to a woman every day, that we'd probably have this conversation, prior to us going to the polls.
Prior to you going to say I do, you might want to have that conversation with somebody and what they think, I had a friend who he did get married to somebody and found out after they got married that she voted Republican, and he was a public service worker. Like, he was a fireman and a paramedic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that led to the dissolving of their marriage or whatever. It's like, why wouldn't you have these conversations prior to like having conversations with people like, do you want to have kids? No, I don't want to have kids. Like, I love you so much, I think I want to have kids with you. Oh, I don't want to have kids. Like, finding that out after the ink is dry is insane. Just crazy. There's certain conversations that you should be having with people prior to. But and he was upset. He was like, how could you do that? And he's black.
Right.
And his wife was black. So I was like, how is it that you didn't have this conversation? But
I think conversations like that is a must that you have.
Yes. Like,
before the broom is jumped.
I don't eat meat. Do you eat meat? Well, I can cook your meat for you, but I'm not going to eat
right,
meat.
Definitely.
Like, those simple conversations, because it seems like y'all are crazy. They're like, he should have divorced her. And that was a deal breaker. But I'm saying, why would you not have had these conversations prior to?
Right.
And also, that also has me bringing into question, like, did you just think they were cute? Like, what was the criteria for this marriage? But anyway, we're going to take this break, y'all. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. back to the Front Porch here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree.
And I'm King Bronze.
And on the other side of the glass, bringing us back with everybody was kung fu fighting. I never saw the video, but he has a whole gi on. I never knew that he was serious when he was making that song to perform it in a whole
Kung fu
karate
fighting,
gi.
yeah.
He was for real kung fu fighting. That was interesting to see. Breaking, well, I guess not so much breaking news, but updated news. Sophie B. Wright High School was closed to students today due to social media posts threatening the safety of students and staff, according to school officials and the New Orleans Police Department. Police are investigating a complaint of threats made against the high school. NOPD officials said Thursday and classes were canceled out of an abundance of caution. Now, this was something that really didn't happen, where people were canceling classes, and people used to call, like, if there was a test and somebody want to take, somebody might call a bomb threat or something like that. But typically, we didn't have a whole lot of threats of.
I think bomb threats. I don't think I've ever had like a bomb threat. I mean, they might have physically been having something going on outside in the 7th Ward, to where they putting us on lockdown, but I don't ever recall like a bomb threat.
Yeah, no, people like, oh, the test people. Yeah, I
People might pull the
like
fire
one
alarm.
or two.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's a little different, you know.
Yeah, that was like a prank.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely,
it was
definitely.
a prank.
But not bomb.
But no, that was the thing. People would call in, and then if your school had caller ID or whatever, of course they found out who it was. You know. But yeah, like the people are making social media threats for kids as they're going to school is wild to me.
Insane.
So you grew up during like the social media era of things.
Okay, yeah. I watched they go from no social media to social media booming.
And I was married with a child when social media made it. Seriously, like I did have MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got my Facebook account in 2006.
Okay.
And so I've had Facebook almost 20 years.
Yeah, definitely.
And Instagram, if you didn't have an iPhone, you couldn't get Instagram
yeah.
when it first came out. And then I don't know how long I've had an Instagram account, because I've been
maybe
on social
since
media
about
for a
like
while.
2012, maybe.
Maybe
11
I
or
don't
12.
I don't know.
Around that time.
But you had social media in high school.
Definitely.
Did it have any impact on like things that happened at school? Or no, you would have had it in like middle school.
I definitely had MySpace in middle school. And then I got I think Instagram came about maybe when I was in about the 10th grade.
Okay.
9th or 10th grade, yeah. I think the worst thing you can possibly see yourself doing on Instagram, maybe. I went to St. Aug where, you know, they'll paddle. You're getting paddled and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I think the worst thing, somebody could like sneak a phone in class, because we couldn't have phones in class either.
Okay.
So they'd make us put our phones in our lockers.
Okay.
And if you got
But
caught,
everybody didn't listen.
everybody didn't listen. But if you
Mhm.
got caught, they keep your phone for like 2 weeks. So
Okay.
it was
That was
mandatory. Yeah,
sensitive.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you might get on Instagram and see yourself getting paddled. That's probably like the worst feeling ever, you know.
So that's happened. So
I've
some
seen
people
it
have
before,
got-
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. And then like once you went to college, what would the social media, I guess, faux pas be at that time?
College, I don't know. I think at that point in time, everybody just wanted to show off their outfits and like, you know, use it for that type of vibe.
That's interesting. So
And connecting with people as well. Like, it went from being a point to like, can I get your number, to like, can I get your Instagram?
do people stay on? Do you have to stay on social media though? Because like,
What do you mean?
somebody calling you, your phone is usually with you. But
Right,
like,
right, right.
I don't have like my notifications on, even when I had social media.
Yeah.
If somebody liked something or commented or sent me a DM, I never
Yeah.
got those things. So I turned on those notifications.
Right,
off.
my notifications are off too, but I get on Instagram
Mhm.
and I see like, oh, this one might have liked your picture, and that one might have liked your picture. And I'm like, oh, all right. I got a DM from this one or that one. So it's pretty cool.
So it makes you have to be attentive to what's going on versus just like a regular phone call.
No, definitely. It's not coming to your phone because your notifications are off, you know? And I don't know. I mean, you move on from the Instagram. Once you get into the Instagram and y'all in the DMs and y'all chat, and then you might send over your phone number. And that's how things go from there.
But why just bypass all of that? And just...
I don't know, because nowadays people want to see, like, because I might see you this one time, and you might not be that same person on the internet, you know? People dress differently. People have different beliefs and stuff, all of that. So,
but that's what conversation is for.
Nah, definitely what conversation is for. But I'm just telling you, like, this is what we've morphed into. Like the whole, it's kind of weird.
That is craziness.
It's definitely
to me,
weird,
mainly because if you meet somebody, depending upon where you are, they're 9 times out of 10 not gonna be attired the same way because depending on what the environment was,
definitely.
So yeah, and then nobody. I don't think people post their worst on social media.
Definitely, it's their best.
So then, the let me see your Instagram really only let me see your highlight reel versus me actually seeing you.
But that's what I feel like we've morphed into, which I personally think is super duper weird. That's me personally, but a lot of people they love the whole Instagram vibe. You know, I don't know.
That's
interesting. I'd rather get to know you in real life versus your Instagram.
Yeah, but is it easy? Because we have these conversations periodically about how dating and social media works. I don't know that life.
Yeah.
Because when it was popping, I already married.
Right.
There was no need for that. But how do you get to know somebody? And again, if only your highlight reel is on
but see, that's the thing. I think social media is like the starting point. You see that person, you're like, oh, I like this picture. Oh, I like that picture. And then you might like too many pictures. Like you might like 5 pictures. And that is considered someone shooting a shot at you nowadays. Versus you seeing a person, you're like, ooh, you liked all my pictures. Then, the DM come after that.
That's like me having to pay attention to too much indirect conversation.
Nah, definitely. Definitely. Everything nowadays, what I've learned is so indirect. Like, nobody's going to say, hey, can you reach me that Fanta you got over there? I'm thirsty. Oh, I'm thirsty. And they'd expect you to say, hi, I have a Fanta. You could,
You're an adult.
No, definitely not. That's it. I totally feel. I totally feel that way. But it's just like, I don't know what frequency we on nowadays, but the social media has definitely changed the game of communication.
Thirsty.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you gonna do about that? You know what definitely. I'm saying? Because it wasn't the case of you asking me if I'm thirsty.
Right. Nah, for sure.
I'm thirsty. Oh, okay. Well, I'm
thirsty?
Kimber. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. That is really okay. So if somebody likes your pictures up to 5 times, that's them shooting their shot, and then so if they don't respond to you liking their pictures,
and then that's another thing.
What?
That's another thing. Okay, so like if they don't respond to you liking their pictures, you might be considered a creep to them. Like, but if they like you, if they think you cool, for real. If they think you cool, then they might respond. Oh, you like the 5 pictures, then you shoot them a DM.
Mm-hmm.
And if they respond, then they can go from there. Oh, send me your number, text, da. But if they don't respond and you continue to like a picture, now they telling their friends, oh, this creep, he keep on liking my picture. Da.
That is so weird.
Nah, it's definitely weird. The whole social media indirect form of communication and everything, super duper weird. And I mean, I'm a part of this era or whatever like that, but I look at it totally weird. I was raised by old souls. We like to communicate. We like to talk.
Hey, how you doing?
Nah, definitely.
You all right?
My
all
name
right,
is,
cool?
Yeah.
If the vibe is right, hey, are you seeing somebody?
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
Oh, you got a boyfriend or you got a girlfriend?
And then another thing, they don't post. Nobody posts who they're actually with on.
Now that I get.
No. Keeping your life private and stuff like that.
That I get.
I totally understand. But a girl could be fully married, and every picture you'll never see her left hand, and she's responding to the DMs.
Then I have questions about your relationship, like real talk. You know what I'm saying? If you're married and you're still hiding the fact that you're married, you're still fishing, and that goes for a male or female. You still fishing, but like the whole boyfriend girlfriend thing. once you see me naked, we go together.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna post you. So I'm gonna post you because I need to know before I invest any more time.
But that's your take on it for real?
Like, yeah.
Once one sees you naked, y'all go together.
It's really
without it being communicated. Like,
oh no, we
this?
gotta have the conversation
All
because I
right.
think that's weird too. I think my generation did a bad job of not being expressive on what it is that they want. It was a
Yeah.
lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
And it was like, nah, we was just smashing. And it was like, what? Yeah, no. For me, like, no, we need to have that conversation. And having had that conversation, if there was follow through, yeah. Then I also need to know if somebody else thinks you their girlfriend too.
Yeah. Nah,
You
I
know
feel
what I'm
that.
saying? So
I definitely think that
at this
conversation
point,
needs to be had.
I need if I was on social, I would need to post you. And see, like, oh, girl, you know, such and such would not say more, so
Yeah.
I can confirm, deny, whatever
Yeah,
the case
yeah,
is,
yeah.
and we can go from there. But
Absolutely.
because I think people are able to hide in the shadows with that whole not posting people.
Definitely.
You know, and if that's what the relationship that you want to have,
Right.
that's one thing. But if you're thinking that things are one way and one things are not,
Yeah.
then you know that feelings are
Yeah,
going
it's
are gonna
crazy.
get hurt that way. But yeah, no. If I like your picture 5 times and I keep liking your pictures, then I'm a stunt because I don't like you like that because you liking my pictures. I'm a show, but that's
Girl,
still
look at this
goofy.
girl. Like,
That's
he
still
liking my
goofy to
picture.
me.
Like, no, it's totally goofy.
That's still goofy to me because, like, all right, you like my pictures. For that to have to be something that's to trigger me to reach out to you.
Yeah. And then another
That's
thing,
dumb.
like everybody that you follow on social media or that might follow you, you don't know them in person. So like when you see that post for the first time or you see this person for the first time, you like their pictures, you're like, oh, all right, I'm gonna follow them. You know, I like this person. It's pictures, I like that imagery. You don't know what the person sound like. You don't know what they smell like. You don't know how they talk.
Mhm.
They might not smile in no pictures. They might not have teeth. You don't know that because you know, on Instagram, it's showing you certain angles, and you know, you don't get the full gist of a person. So it's kind of tricky. Like the whole social media thing is definitely tricky. But you know, like I said, I'm an old soul. I like to talk to you. I want to see what your feet look like. You know,
That's
how you
fair.
talk.
That's fair. And
how you treat other people.
if you curate your image and you're not able to continue that, like
Yeah.
continue the facade, then that's all for what?
Right.
Because you might get a lot of attraction, but you're not getting to what may be desired, which is to have a partner or have
Right.
a mate. That's just that's
But
a
social
lot.
media, it did make things scary.
Mm.
Because I remember the suspense of having, like, I went from the time where you had to write the number down on the paper.
Yeah,
And
that's my time.
back in the Stone Age, you know, you had to write stuff on the paper. And then nowadays, it's just like, I'm going to get to know you first. Just take my Instagram. Versus, I'm not going to give you my number at all, but just take my Instagram. And you might not ever talk to that person again in your life, but now they follow you on Instagram. Right.
Which that wasn't a connection that was
Yeah, I know.
the goal.
But I feel like certain people do that because they don't want people to get too close to them. And which I kind of see, but I think it's still weird.
So you give somebody your number. Conversation's kind of off, kind of weird, or you just don't like the way they talk. They breathe too heavy in the phone, whatever the case is. You don't have to answer the phone anymore.
Nah.
Or you can block them.
Nah, definitely.
You know, I didn't have that. We didn't have that as a thing, right? We weren't giving people our cell phone numbers when I was dating, mainly because you paying about a minute with cell phones.
Yeah.
25 cents, 30 cents a minute when cell phones first came out. But and after they call you a couple of times, like they get the picture and they stop calling.
Nah, definitely.
So you still having access to me via my Instagram.
Right.
I want you to, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
you to continue to be in connection with what I'm doing. I think it's really more
You get more of
viewing.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely understand that.
My highlight reel, and I don't really
Got
like
my
you
Instagram,
like that.
but I never gave them my number. Like, so
But they
it's
still
weird. They
get
can
to
see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you post your whole life on Instagram.
which is
so.
creepier to me than the
Than the
person
phone
who
number, yeah.
called we talk, either you sound thrown off or whatever the case may be. It can be a whole bunch of different things. I just don't want to talk to you no more. You can either tell that person like, I'm gonna go in a different direction, or you just don't answer the phone. They get the message. They stop calling. You move along. That's it.
Right.
Versus having them have a view into like what you're doing with your daily life or because everybody's posting stuff
definitely
on Instagram. So I don't want you to see my highs or my lows.
Right. Yeah. I totally
some
understand
additional thought has to go into this whole deal. Mark says, Nyron said, after you like pictures, you're supposed to send the eggplant, the lips, and the water emoji.
Ooh, he wilding over there.
And Josh said, Nyron gonna catch a charge if that's true.
Definitely, yeah, he wilding.
But communicating through emojis is crazy to me.
Definitely.
Like, in a text message.
No, I think it's fun.
Message,
It's
cool,
fun. It's entertaining.
But that being your conversation with a person,
no.
that's just.
I feel like once you made it to a certain level, like that's cool to do that.
But right? Once I know you,
yeah, just out the gate sending emojis. Oh, you are a creep.
You're a creep.
Yeah,
you are a creep for real. So yeah, I'm glad that some young people are still interested in having real conversations, but y'all don't go nowhere to converse with people.
They don't go nowhere. Yeah. And I feel that. I mean, I'm a part of it, so I say we don't go nowhere, but I go a lot of places.
And so when you see people in those places, do you talk to do you approach somebody, or like if it's a group conversation?
No, definitely. I'm engaged in conversation. I talk to people. Oh, she pretty. I need to go talk to her. Let's see what's up.
So you will approach?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. That makes me feel a lot better, because if we just exchanging Instagrams and never talking to people,
I'm not.
that is just crazy.
Oh, you could just. I feel like you giving me your Instagram is like
you're not interested.
You're not interested. So I'm like, all right, cool, bet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so Jerry, you are okay, because y'all making me afraid for.
I'm definitely afraid.
Are we incubating babies in the time machine? Because if we not getting to the point, or we only getting to that point, we in trouble. We are in trouble. Stay tuned to the Front Porch. Y'all got to take this break right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree.
And I'm King Bronze.
And on the other side of the glass is Jared, bringing us back with Crime Mob Nuck If You Buck. Yeah, that used to get a lot of activity. You put that on in a party. The Greeks would have their strolls.
Oh, they still go crazy over that.
But no, they're not fighting.
Oh, no.
No. I have witnessed actual fights behind this one. And this was around the time that Bone Crusher was, everything was very loud and in your face. And
I ain't never scared.
Yeah. So, Nuck If You Buck. Fun times.
Definitely.
For sure. I noticed that when we had our last convention here last year, that the younger Soros, they had a stroll to it, and I was like, young people do things that my age and older, if they did it, it was with intent, right? So if we did something or made a gesture to somebody as if like ifing at people or like punching your hand,
it was going down.
That was with the intent of fighting. That was not something just for vanity at all. What I notice about people on social media, they are not the people who expect the reactions of other people's based on the things that they put out on social media.
Yeah.
Like if you did that to somebody, or 3 o'clock, I'm gonna see you outside.
Yeah.
The expectation was
3 o'clock.
there was going to be some fisticuffs that was gonna be happening. Like there's no gang. No, we're not talking.
Not
we're
a lot
not
of
having
talking
no, there's no conflict resolution. The resolve is going to be fist to face. But a lot of people, like in their comments on social media, a lot of people in their postings on social media, I know if I post something that is reckless, no, I mean that.
Yeah.
But everybody don't consider that when they're posting.
Now, a lot of people use that as like clickbait. A lot of people, they want you to click on it, but they don't really mean no harm. They act a certain way on.
Don't say that though. Like, don't do
definitely.
that. Like, I just don't think that's really smart.
Nah, definitely.
To do that because
that was just social media, man. That's not how I act in real life, man.
Don't do that.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Y'all take this social media thing too serious.
You put out something that could be considered either a threat or that you had ill intent for what it is that you put out there, and especially if your intended target that you backpedal and say that's not what you meant to that person, it hit who was supposed to hit.
Definitely.
Like it hit who you
especially if you
got
to eat your words and you gotta take that back.
But don't backtrack on that. Like
you gotta stand on it.
Stand on that, or learn how to keep your mouth closed. One
definitely.
or the other.
Definitely.
But yeah, I noticed that a lot of people, that's not what I meant by that. Well, why'd you put that out there? Like,
what I could say though is
be in consideration before you put it out
through text messages as well as social media. Doesn't really have tone. So if it's not like a video or a person could actually physically see you talking, or you're not like on FaceTime with the person and they can actually see like your mannerisms and how you actually, your energy behind it, or even speaking to a person on the phone. I feel like a text message doesn't really have a tone. So you can misconstrue what somebody's trying to tell you.
Yes, but no, right?
Okay.
If things are tense, I'm going to communicate what I want to communicate with my words now. And if you know people, you can kind of read it in their voice.
Nah, definitely.
Like in their tone of voice as they're writing it. Now, what I do know that everybody does not over-explain as they are texting. Like some people are very short with their communication. And sometimes that could kind of misconstrue tone, but no, some people are hypersensitive. Like if I said something to you, like if hey, you want something to eat? No.
Like, why you being short with me?
Exactly. Right. But if I'm usually short, then I have no intent behind it. If I'm not usually short, yeah. And you likely know, like, what's wrong? You know what's wrong.
But I feel like if you just send me 2 letters in a text message, N-O, what's up with that? Back in the day, they used to have to tie letters to a pigeon, and you don't know if you're going to get it and everything like that. Now you could just send me a text message that say N-O.
But that's that passive aggressive thing of I'm thirsty.
Oh, nah, you're right.
I'm thirsty. Oh. Okay. I'm not.
Yeah. No, right.
Where do we go from there? You know? But like I said, asking a direct, hey, you want something to eat? No. If I'm normally not wordy, and the expectation would be that.
No, but it like, okay, you want something to eat? Nah, I'm good. I had something already.
But everybody doesn't respond that way.
Right.
In text. So I'm finding that out. And then the short, what is it? Shorthand texting?
Mm-hmm.
NVM and like
Oh,
knowing all of
definitely.
the jargon. Like,
Definitely.
I don't understand what your question.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you trying to communicate with me? Like all of what you saying? Or if I have to get to the point to call you, it's like, I don't understand what you said. And that's if I want the clarity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for the person who's like, well, did you care enough or you just want to complain?
I learned the new one the other day, MBN. You know what that is?
No.
Must be nice.
Mm.
I was lost though.
Oh,
I was lost.
no.
But with texting the younger kids nowadays, because I still have some students that I keep in contact with, and we, you know, they growing up and stuff like that. But man, they text like it's insane.
Gibberish.
Yeah, I'm like, huh? It's a whole line, but it means
Gibberish.
so much more than it says. Like, oh, I would have never guessed that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know what it is that is going to get us to. We have to have these intergenerational conversations.
Right.
You're gonna be lost.
Right.
You're gonna be lost. Back in the day, drug dealers or people who were looking for certain drugs used to hang up tennis shoes on the on the wire, right?
Yeah.
Now you just send the emoji for. You know what I'm saying? Like drug dealers can use that instead of hanging. And nobody gets to see it. And if we don't continue to have conversations among generations, then like what do you mean? BRB? Be right back. What does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, are you the
I didn't even know that was the whole like the drug dealers, to go back to that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Really?
Like, when I was younger, I seen some shoes on the power line. And I just thought, somebody threw somebody's shoes on the power line. And you know, like Mike had came out and the guy took the dude's shoes and threw them on the power. But in that movie, I'm sure he wasn't like referencing drugs is in the area. You know, so when I seen shoes on the power line, I'm like, oh, somebody must have got bullied and they threw their shoes on the power line. But then I remember my grandma was like, don't go over that. You can't go around that. I'm like, what? They got shoes on the power line. It never really hit me. I didn't know what it was until I got older.
Well, that's another thing. There had been a concerted effort to keep kids shielded from some things.
Right.
For a long time, which since social media is a thing, you get less and less of kids being shielded. When we were talking about bands like Culture Club, have you heard of the name Boy George before?
I heard of Boy George.
Okay, so Boy George was the front person for Culture Club. I didn't know Boy George was gay until I was in high school. I just thought he dressed funny because everybody dressed funny
Back then. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't even a conversation that had happened in my sphere. That was something that I found out like
Later
in
on.
high
Yeah.
school. Because adults you didn't sit in adult company as they were having conversations.
Right.
I know they had those conversations, but there was a line of who was privy to certain things. Now with social media, there are not a whole lot of barriers of keeping
everybody business.
Yeah. Not just the business, just the exposure of stuff.
Nah, definitely.
The exposure is crazy with kids, and parents have to make a concerted effort if they're going to monitor what it is that their kids have access to. You can't stop it at school.
Right.
But like if your kid got a cell phone,
right, they gonna see it.
They can see a lot of
especially if they're on social media, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's on social media.
Yeah, that is well, it's not a concern of mine right now because I have old children. I have a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old. So
yeah.
We're really not navigating
you're past that point.
Yeah. But my kids didn't get a cell phone until they were 15.
Right.
So by this time.
Yeah, see, it's crazy. In my generation, like, I got my first cell phone at 9.
Wow.
So I know kids that have cell phones that's even younger.
But
my grandma
is
said
why?
she feels as though nowadays it's a necessity.
Why?
Because now, don't get me wrong, my first cell phone at 9, it didn't have social media and all of that on it. It had a flashlight, but it was like a real flashlight. But nowadays, you know, you want to be with so much happening in the world, you want that easy access to contact your kid.
But I'm again saying why? Because
Another thing was,
if you're bringing your kids, unless your kid is, if you're a latchkey kid, you call your parents when you got home. Because I was. Like, I think middle school on up, you caught the bus. And we caught the city bus. To and from school. You got home. My dad, I made it home. Don't open the door for nobody, and that's that. Cell phone for why?
Well, I could say this. Now kids are into games and stuff like that, so they're inside most of the time. But when I was a kid, we were outside most of the time. Like
Same.
literally outside most of the time. And me, I was an active kid, to whereas I'm going to football practice, I'm going to basketball practice, I'm going to band practice, and I'm there most of the rest of my day, you know? And I was one of those kids that had the privilege to march in like high school bands when I was still in elementary school. So I guess that was another reason why they felt like I needed a phone.
And again, same. You know what I'm saying? Like, we played outside till the lights came home.
Yeah.
Lights came on outside. And like, as of middle school, you caught the bus to and from school. If you had practice, you still had to catch the bus to and from school. Your parents didn't have to, because your parents didn't have to pick you up because you had an activity at the school. You had a way. We didn't have cell phones. We had.
But then that's another thing too, though. I'm sure when you were 9 years old, cell phones wasn't like as.
No, but that's my point.
Right.
If you're 9 years old, your phone didn't have the access to all the.
No, you could just call and turn on the flashlight if it get dark.
Your phone was for like contact or whatever. But that's not how the phones that we're seeing, like with second and third graders.
Oh no, they have iPhones. Yeah, no, that's insane.
And for what is what I'm saying? You tracking their phone? Because if they lose it, you're not gonna find them.
Well, I know a lot of them, they're using the tablets nowadays to watch the little kiddie shows and stuff like that. Gracie's Corner and all of that.
Read a book. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's fading
read
out.
a book.
No, I totally understand. But that's the whole reading a book off like regular paperback books. It's like fading out. They rather read the book on the phone and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. 504-582-9422. Good morning, Brother Corey.
Well, good morning, Kimber White Dupree, and good morning, young man.
Morning.
So, Kimber, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What do you think about New Orleans and Louisiana in a female perspective, as a woman perspective?
With regard to what?
Just general, would you, as a traveler, because I know you've been playing places, dancing and stuff like that, and say you just come here and just travel here, what would you think of New Orleans and Louisiana?
Louisiana, I would not see as a black woman, I wouldn't see as a safe place for me to visit. New Orleans, would be a place that I would want to visit for the culture, but Louisiana as a state, this wouldn't be a place that would be high on my list. If I came to Louisiana, it would just be to come to New Orleans and nowhere else.
Okay. And how about you, young man? From a young man perspective, who would you say?
I mean, I think New Orleans is a pretty cool city, but I don't know. I mean, it could get dangerous in certain places, in certain areas at certain times. But that's everywhere nowadays. So.
Well, this is what I see. I see New Orleans, y'all speaking about things about, growing up, stuff like that. See, we are part of sometimes our oral tradition. It's passed down orally through generation and generations. I didn't learn about my, family or who I am through public schools or through other means. I learned it through my family, my, uncles, father, mothers, all of them passed down oral tradition. And one thing my mama said, she prayed that she wrote down all my grandma's recipes, but she didn't do that. But for that part of it, but it's passed down orally. Through, one of our congressmen he said, we all didn't come here. We always wasn't here. We came here from somewhere. So I always say, let's make New Orleans, Louisiana, as sacred ground. Let's make it as a holy ground, holy city, and a holy state. See, it's like when they made us to the purchase, you want to call it. We should think of ourselves as a prime, part of the whole United States of America. Here in Louisiana, we should take part into. We should have everything we need and want. No one should be wanting for anything in New Orleans, Louisiana at all, for anything. So from the Washita, from the Iroquois Confederation, from all the stuff that they promised, as treaties and stuff like that, we just seek them for them to abide by their word and abide by their trust. So we asked them to make this a place, New Orleans and Louisiana, a place that everyone want to come and stay. And everyone who here, let's make them just, hey, they don't hold the ground. They're here, and they're here for a purpose, and they're here to get this, New Orleans and Louisiana to be a paradise like it's supposed to be. So when I travel here, I travel all over the places, but it's just about this place that, make everyone want to come and stay. And I want everyone to know that, it's up to us as a people, I don't care who you are, from any nationality, whatsoever you here. Let's make it as a beautiful place, a paradise, and invite all your family members from all over the world come and let's enjoy. But anyway, so that's what I see about New Orleans, Louisiana. We just got to take our place as a city, as a state. Let them know, and I appreciate the governor don't going on Trump stuff, whatsoever. I have no issue with that. That stop and frisk stuff. Hey, we don't do that down here. We are peaceful people. We want peace for everybody. All that we need is the resources we need to take care of everybody. And like I said, you're a millionaire. Let's become a billionaire. Yeah, I'm a capitalist. I'm an elite, but I'm also a religious man. So I always want everybody to get what they need to get. Peace and love, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Love,
Have
love,
a good
love.
one.
Alrighty.
Yeah, like New Orleans would be a place for me to come and visit, but I've been to different places in Louisiana. I don't know that they would be high on my list. I have family in different places
Nah, definitely.
in Louisiana, and I don't know, if I didn't live here or didn't have roots here, I don't know that I would be making the travel to go anywhere other than New Orleans.
Nah, definitely. I've lived in Baton Rouge. I've lived in Port Allen, and
That's where my family is from, Port Allen and Brutally.
yeah.
And
So
Alexandria.
I don't see myself moving or living in any other part of Louisiana. I was happy that no disrespect or anything to Baton Rouge or Port Allen. I love those people, but I was happy that I was able to move back to New Orleans. And I got people and friends all over the world that I went to college with and stuff like that. Like I said before, New Orleans is a great place, but it has its ups and downs and
But
stuff
that's
like that.
everywhere.
But everywhere it does.
Everywhere that I have been, I've been with regard to living in the States, I don't want to be, the energy in other places don't make me feel me.
Right.
Other than this city. And I don't know so much as that it's because I'm from here. I mean, other black, heavily populated black cities don't feel like this.
Right.
So I don't know. I love New Orleans. Everywhere has problems. I like to see the problems get fixed, but
absolutely.
It is going to require a concerted effort for everybody before we get there. And getting people on the same page, we're still struggling with that.
Definitely.
We got to take this break, y'all. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
King Bronze.
And bringing us back with Queen. We are the champions. I guess the fight is over. Is Jared. Yeah. Some of the comments from our Front Porch listeners was that one thing I hate about New Orleans is that you need a front end alignment every 2 days.
Definitely.
And Josh said that Louisiana without New Orleans is Arkansas, for sure. and so Mark says there's no Louisiana without New Orleans. But the thing is, New Orleans is not Louisiana.
Right.
You go anywhere else outside of this city, it ain't New Orleans.
No.
Baton Rouge, which is an hour away, is not New Orleans.
Nah, I totally agree.
Oh,
I totally agree.
and when people say that they're from New Orleans and like, okay, where? Destrehan? No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop saying that. Stop telling people that. Harvey, no, you're not. You're not from New Orleans. Stop saying that.
Kenner.
Kenner is not New Orleans. Yeah, and I wish that we would take better care of the jewel that she is, but unfortunately, we have not been good stewards of this land. 504-582-9422. Good morning, Mr. Larry.
Hey, Kimber, Toby White, beautiful daughter. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning?
Just great. It's something that you previously person spoke to a guy that was on before.
Corey.
He said something special. He said New Orleans is he said, I'm trying to verbatim say that it was like a special place, like not so much. Well, he did mention a little bit spiritual, but he said that it's sacred ground.
Mm-hmm.
And by living in another state, such as California, I was in the Air Force out there, and I went to college out there, and I spent over a decade there. So I got to meet people. At that time, it wasn't no Atlantas and Orlandos and Houston. Most of the black people that wanted to go to college was running to California because it was cheaper, freer. And, California was the place.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet brothers and sisters from all over. And something about New Orleans people, because they had some kids that was on junior college, but when I transferred from junior college, I went to UCLA. But the people at the junior college, they had quite a few New Orleans people. And there was something about them that just stood out, and the other students knew it. So I'm trying to, Kimberly, I'm trying to think about a dissertation, a thesis, but it got so much history. I'm trying to pinpoint what makes this place so special. And every time I come up with it, I say, well, it's a peninsula, not an island. Mm-hmm. Well, Smithsonian says the only African city in America.
It is.
And it also says it's the most westernized Caribbean city in America. It got all these things about it that makes it unique. And by me, I'm the same age as your dad, Kimber.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been here a while, right?
Yes, sir.
Been here a while. So I tell you something like I'm a living history. So I got a lot of information stored up there, almost 8 decades. And I'm still trying to figure out what makes New Orleans different than everywhere else I've been. And, you could say the food. Look, case in point, if you was in Chicago or even Seattle and somebody from New Orleans you didn't know, and you was in a supermarket and you heard them speak, say that person from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
By the vernacular. So, you can't do that to other people. If you hear somebody from Houston speak, you just sound like a regular country person. But
they're the southern accent.
Yeah, southern. We don't have that. We have more of like New York had one, Boston had one, New Orleans have it. So we stand out, and Kimber, I've been trying to figure out, I guess, I did a podcast, and somebody did a documentary with me. And the same thing I'm telling you and your guests, I told them. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't have enough information to come out with a conclusion. What makes New Orleans different? I think it's, it's a big slave trade. A lot of slaves came through here and were sold, but they didn't stay because we don't have a cotton field. So I don't know, Kimber.
It's a lot. It's a lot of pieces that go into what makes New Orleans.
Yeah, baby, I know that, Kimber. I've been trying to put it
But
together.
like to narrow it down, I don't know that anybody will ever be able to narrow it down because there's so much of a melding of culture here. Like, you had your Africans, of course, and we have maintained a lot of our cultures in not just the food, but in our art, in the way we speak, in the way we share traditions. But
you're right.
There's so much more that goes into that because a lot of the French still stuck with us. It's peppered in our language. A lot of the Spanish is still lingering here. I
think that's exactly what it is. I think that's what makes New Orleans, quote unquote, because all of those things to come together to make this puzzle what it is. That's why
I'm gonna leave you with this. But when all of the tourists come from everywhere in the world, they come here for New Orleans culture. And whose culture is that?
Ours.
Mm-hmm. So thank you, Kimber, for listening to me, darling.
Absolutely. Anytime, Mr. Larry. It's always good to hear from you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Yeah, it's so much that goes into what makes this place, and you can't get it anywhere else. And people try and take pieces of New Orleans when they go other places, but you always have to come back and replenish at the source.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining me today, King.
Thank you for having me.
I
Glad to be here.
appreciate you hanging out with me here on the front porch. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Thank you for joining us here on the front porch at WBOK 1230 AM. Joining us for this past 3 hours of your life that you will never get back again. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Free Your Mind Friday right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. Have a great day, y'all.